Plaintiff Marisol Ramirez and her husband Keith Wilkerson say the defendant is Marisol's brother, and he has always been overbearing. Marisol claims the defendant acts more like her father than her brother. And recently, he and his wife attacked Marisol. Marisol's suing for a refund on a car. Defendant Elias Delgado and his wife Yvonne say Elias and Marisol's mother was a single mother, so Elias has been caring for Marisol since she was born. Elias claims he helped Marisol graduate high school and even helped her get into college, but she ended up dropping out. Elias denies owing her for anything.
Start with you.
Well, before I start, I would like to give you a little bit of background story. Elias is my half-brother. He has always been an overbearing brother. He's always tried to act like if he's my father, treating me like I'm a little girl. But, you know, he has to understand that he's my brother, not my father.
Your Honor?
But it has gone to an extreme.
Tell me how so.
December 16th of 2013, both Elias and his wife, Yvonne, attacked me. They pulled my hair.
That's not
true. They
true.
pulled my hair. They scratched me.
Why?
They left scratches on over a cell phone that I purchased with my own money.
That is not true.
It is true.
Tell me how the incident began and ended.
I purchased my own phone, and Elias got upset. That
How old were you?
I was 19 at the time. I am 20 right now.
Yeah, she'd be able to get your own phone. So then what?
Yes.
That we actually were providing a cell phone for her,
Oh,
and we were actually paying all her bills at the time. So what she's telling you is inaccurate.
That is not
Marisol
true,
never paid
Your
for
Honor.
anything on her own.
All right, but that doesn't give you a license to jump on her and take it.
But we never jumped on her, and no one ever attacked
Let
her
me hear.
either.
All right, let me hear her side.
Yeah.
That is not true, Your Honor. So what happened is he got upset that I purchased my own cell phone, and he tried to take it away from me. And he said, "Who gave you the permission to have a cell phone, and why do you think you have the privilege to have a cell phone?" Even though I purchased that with my own money. And, you know, it escalated to the point to where he used extreme force on my arm and on my wrist to take it away. Not only did he pull my hair, and not only did he leave scratches on me, he also tried to hit me in the head with his fist. And my mother got in the way, and she was hit on her face, and her face was literally red where she got hit.
Your Honor, I wasn't there at the incident, but I seen
Well,
the
then
scars.
stay out of it if you weren't there. It's between her and her brother.
I just seen the scars, that's all.
You saw the scars?
Okay. And
We have no idea
not only
who
that,
he is, just
I'm her
so you
husband.
know.
not
We
only
have no
husband?
idea who
Oh, okay,
he is,
good.
and nor have
We were
ever
boyfriend
seen
and
him.
girlfriend at the
Hold
time.
on.
We were boyfriend
okay.
and girlfriend at the time, now we're married.
Plaintiff Marisol Ramirez and her husband Keith Wilkerson say the defendant is Marisol's brother. And recently, he and his wife physically attacked Marisol.
Tell me about the incident, and then we'll get to the car. Go ahead.
Your Honor, she was living at the house at my time. At the time, we gave her a cell phone for her to use. We had her room and board free. You know, we took care of her, had her going to college. We helped her get a job through our connections. So we've been taking care of her. I've been taking care of her since the day she was born.
Okay.
You know, my mother was basically a single parent, so I was expected to help around the house, help her out financially. I started working since I was 15. I've been providing for her shoes, clothing, anything she needed, vacations, restaurants, anything that she wasn't afforded by the parents at the time. So she was about to fail high school. I moved her into a better neighborhood, a better school, try to offer her a better life, a second opportunity. Got her into college. She was going to be a nurse, you know. So when we find this out that she is basically leading a double life, taking school for granted and failing her classes and so forth, you know, we did confront her on that. Now, as far as the cell phone is concerned, we were providing her a cell phone. We were paying for it. So that cell phone was not to be abused or used in any other way other than necessary things. Having said that, I never did touch her.
Okay. You still in college?
No, I'm
Why?
currently working.
Why?
Because, you know, the situation that happened, I had to find my own place to stay. I am currently working, but I am
How long
planning
you
to go
been?
back.
How long have you been out of college?
It's been like a couple months. It hasn't been that long.
Okay. The car. Let's get to that. You're suing him about a car.
Yes, my brother did. He offered me to use his credit to purchase a car. And I did give him on October the 2nd, I gave him the $2,000. And also November 18th, I gave him the first payment of $523.
So you were to give the money to him and he would pay?
Correct, because it was under his name. And the reason why the deal was off was because they opened mail that belonged to me.
I don't know what you mean by the deal was off. I don't know what you're saying.
He cut off the deal. He said the deal was off and he was going to give me my money back.
He just walked up to you and said, the deal is off.
The reason for that was because he would borrow the vehicle that I purchased.
That is not cool.
And that day he picked me up, both him and his wife picked me up from school. And they took me to his house and they had my bank statement in their hand where they had opened my mail without my permission. And they said, what are you spending your money on? I said, I don't need to tell you. I work. That's money I earn. I shouldn't have to tell you.
And you weren't late on the payment?
No.
Okay.
And so then he said, well, since you're not going to tell me, the deal is off. I'm giving you your $2,523 and the deal's off. I said, okay, that's fine. Then December 11th, he comes over to my school again and he says, I'm going to give you a second chance for you to have that vehicle. I said, no, that's fine. Then I can, just give you my money back and the deal be off. And that is when the phone that he gave me, he asked for it back. I gave it back to him. That same day, I purchased my own cell phone. And then that is when he tried to take that phone. And Your Honor, I would also like to say that was not the only act of violence. When I was 8 years old.
Man, we're done with all that.
This is ridiculous.
Everything that she stated is inaccurate.
Man,
so,
if he did all that, ma'am, he'd be under the jail. Go ahead.
I have something to say in regards to what she told us is that now that she was 19, that she was going to go because she doesn't want anyone telling her what to do. She doesn't want anyone controlling her life. She's not going to live by any rules. She's going to do whatever she wants with her life. So we stated that was perfectly fine with us. However, because the car was in her name and we were taking all the liability on that, obviously, she was not allowed to simply just take the car
Did you tell
anywhere
him you
she
were moving?
wanted to.
No.
You never told him you were moving?
No.
Did you move?
Yes, I did.
And you never told him?
No.
You just moved out middle of the night?
Not in the middle of the night. During
It was
the day.
while her
Hold
mom
on,
was at
ma'am.
work. Oh.
What's your name anyway?
Yvonne
No, your last name too.
Delgado, I'm his wife.
Oh, well, I don't know nothing about you. He's the one that's supposed to talk, and when you're ready to talk, you introduce yourself for the record, and then I call on you when I want to hear from you, all right? All right.
Well, everything she's stating is inaccurate.
I understand, and so the person who's being sued is the first one who tells me about it. And then if he wants his witness to weigh in, you are his witness, then he'll tell me.
Plaintiff Marisol Ramirez and her husband Keith Wilkerson say the defendant is Marisol's brother. And recently he and his wife physically attacked Marisol.
Sir, you start with you, and then when you want your witness to speak, she may.
Thank you, Your Honor. My witness can also talk when she has something
All right,
to say
she can
because
butt
was
in,
there
no problem, no problem.
at the time. I had
Not trying to disrespect you or your wife, but
No problem.
she was kind of getting a little too aggressive without
no, that's
letting me
okay.
know who she was.
It's just we have a very
Go
low
ahead.
tolerance.
I know whether he was your wife or your mistress. So.
Well, the person.
She's my wife.
Yeah, I'm his wife of 9 years.
all right.
Actually,
You're his wife.
of 9 years.
And, all right,
Today
9 years.
actually
All right.
is our
Yeah,
anniversary.
so that other lady in the back is that? No, mind. I'm gonna leave that
just
alone.
starting
That's
to-
for you to
you're
deal
just the one to
with,
start
huh?
trouble.
He's sharp, handsome
That's
guy.
okay.
I understand.
Okay.
Go ahead. A lot of women after him.
So, Your Honor, she came to me asking me if I can get her a car, just like she
That's
mentioned.
false. I never asked him.
Ma'am, you've had your say.
Okay. She came to me and she asked me several times to get her a car. A few months ago, we had bought her a car and she crashed it 3 months later. Crashed into a tree, and I had to pay for the city for that.
Is that true, ma'am? You had crashed into a tree previously?
Yes, but I did purchase that vehicle under my
I understand. The question is whether you crashed into a tree. Go ahead.
So we said, we are not going to buy you another car. What we can do for you is I'll get you a car. I'll put it in my name. You make the payments. You put your down payment. I'm not going to be responsible for this car. I will help you with the insurance. So we went to the dealership. We got her a car. So my wife was there when we talked to her about it, because that car is going to be insured under our name and under our liability. She was only to have her and her sister drive to school and her drive to work and back. Later, we find out that not only she's driving other people around, I'm finding out through the odometer how many miles she's driving. In a month, she put more than 3,000 miles in the car. And she's telling me she's only driving to school, which is about 2 miles down the street, and to work, which is 3 miles down the street. So it wasn't making very much sense. And then I have friends that go to college that know her. She's saying, you know what, all she does in there, she's just parties and drinks. And so looking into the car, there's some beer bottles. I talked to her that night. I said, why do you have beer bottles here? She says, oh, I'm recycling. So I said, then how come some are not open, you know? And you're driving other people around, you're putting this liability on us. I go, that's not something that's gonna work for me. She went off on my wife and I, and she said, you're not gonna be controlling my life. I can do whatever the heck I want. It's my money, it's my car. I said, you can do whatever you want, but not in my house and with my money.
Ma'am, did you have beer bottles in the
No,
car?
I have never in my life drank anything. And I can put that on anything.
I didn't ask you whether you drank. I asked you, did you have them in your car? No. So he's making this entire story
Yes,
up?
he is, Your Honor.
All right.
My wife's my witness, Your Honor.
All right,
she can testify to that.
Go ahead.
So here I am stuck with a car that I don't want and don't need. I tried to put it on Craigslist, had no bites. I tried to turn it back into the Mercedes dealership. That didn't work out because it was so upside down. It was
No, they don't do that. That's not how that works. You can't go back to the finance company and say, I've had enough. Take it back.
I was able to sell it, but at a loss.
Right. How much did you lose?
Well, I owed about close to $23,000 because I made a monthly payment, and they offered me $19,500.
All right. And you say that she left in a huff because, once again, you all weren't getting along about her staying in your house and abiding by your rules. You confronted her about the beer bottles in the car, and her response was to get upset and leave. So his story sounds more likely. Therefore, I'm going to believe him and what he says. Have a good day. Case dismissed.
Well, she's made her decision. She can live her life and pay her consequences. She's not going to school and she's not going to have not a good life.
I have nothing to say to them.
For answers to your legal questions and more, go to my website, askjudgemathis.com.